Hello students, hope you understood what is algorithm. So we have seen in the last videos definition of algorithm, features of algorithm, advantages, disadvantages of algorithm and some of the examples. So simple examples, how to calculate area, how to calculate perimeter of rectangle, triangle like this. Okay, so let us see how branching works in algorithm. Okay, so let us see some examples of this one. What is branching in algorithm? So before going towards branching statement, so we revise some of the operators, whatever operators we have seen in the last lectures. So some operators are there, those are used to calculate the mathematical equation or to perform some mathematical calculations. So this is the first one, first operator, that is the plus one. So this sign is available on your keyboard. So with the help of this one, we can do addition. Okay. Next, dash, that is the minus sign. We can perform here subtraction. Asterisk for multiplication. Okay. Then slash, forward slash, two types of slashes are present on the keyboard. So this is the forward slash, which is used to find out division, to do division. So we can perform integer division or we can perform float division. Okay. Later we will see what is the difference between these two. So with the help of forward slash, we can perform division operation. Then percent sign. With the help of percent sign, we can perform modulus operation. So what is the meaning of modulus operation? We can calculate here remainder. Okay, when 5 is divided by 2, so quotient would be 2, 2 to the 4 and 1 would be remainder. So what it returns here, this percent sign, it will return modulus result, that is the remainder result. Then next one, double asterisk. Double asterisk means what? Exponential. Okay, so if we want to calculate 5 raised to 2 square of 5, how we can do this one? So right here 5 into 2. So here two asterisks are used. What is the meaning of two asterisk? We can find out exponential. Okay, so what is the meaning of this one? Here 5 is the base and 2 is the index. So base raised to index, so it gives you value of 5 raised to 2, that is 5 square, that means 25. Okay, so all these operators are called as mathematical operators. So we can use these mathematical operators in algorithm itself. Okay, then next part. Next operator, relational operator. Okay, sometimes what happen, we want to find out whether this value is less than the second one or whether first value is greater than the second one. Suppose we want to find out maximum between two numbers, if we want to find out minimum between three numbers. So comparison, so when we want to perform comparison operations, we have to use these relational operators. So these relational operators are also called as comparison operators. So what are the types of operators here? Operators within relational operator. First one, less than. Okay, suppose the values are x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 4, and we want to check whether x is less than y. X is 6, y is 4. So it returns either true or false. Look here. Every relational operator returns Boolean value. Boolean value means what? Either true or false. So x is 6, y is 4. Whether this statement is correct or not, x less than 4 is, if this statement is correct, then it will return true. If this statement is false, then it returns false. So our values are 6 and 4. So what it returns here? False, because x is not less than y. X is greater than y. So this condition, it returns Boolean values either true or false. This is the less than. Then next one, greater than. Meaning of this one, greater than. Again two values are like this, x is equal to 6, y is equal to 4. our conditional statement is if x greater than y. Okay, so x is 6, y is 4, and our statement is if x greater than y. So what it returns here? If this statement x is greater than y, then it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Okay, here in our example, x is greater than y, so it returns true. Okay, next one, less than or equal to. So it will perform either less than operation or equal to operation. Here values are like this: x is equal to 4, y is equal to 4. It returns true if x is less than equal to y. So x is 4, y is 4, and x, whether x is less than y or x is equal to y, if one of the two condition is true, then it will return true. Okay, here x is equal to y, so again it returns true. In the previous example, if x is 6, y is 4, what it returns? It returns false, because x is neither is less than y or x is equal to y. Okay, so this is the less than equal to operation. Then greater than or equal to, reverse of this one, greater than equal to. So it returns true if x is greater than equal to y. Again, two values are same, so it returns true. For the previous example, if x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 4, what it returns here? Whether x is greater than equal to y? Yes, x is greater than equal to y. X is greater than y. So this condition remains true. So it will return true. Okay. Next operator, equal to operator. Okay. Only single equal to sign is present on your keyboard. But this sign is used to do assignment statement. Only if we want to do addition of two numbers. So we can write here z is equal to x plus y. That is the meaning of single equal to. We can assign values to the variable. So this is the single equal to. X is equal to 4. Here is the assignment statement. But what is the use of double equal to? When we used double equal to, it will do comparison between two values. Okay. So here x is equal to 4, y is equal to 4, and our conditional statement is if x equal to y. Okay, we are using here double equal to. So it will check whether the value of x is equal to y or not. If these two values are similar, then it will return true. If these two values are different, it will return false. Okay. Then next one, this sign, exclamatory mark and equal to. What is the meaning of this one? Not equal to. Okay, this is the equal to, opposite of this one is not equal to. Here value of x and y are 4. Okay, and when we write here conditional statement like this, if x not equal to y, so it will check whether x is having value equal to y or not. If these two values are different, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So within this statement, x is equal to 4, y is equal to 4, and x not equal to y. So what it returns here? False. Okay, x is not equal to y. It returns false because x is equal to y. So in this example, it returns true, and in this example, it returns false. Okay. So these are the relational operators. Okay. Again, once I revise this one: less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal to. So we are going to use mathematical operators as well as relational operators in the branching statement. Okay, so how it works? Look here, how we can write different algorithms by using these operators, means mathematical operators and relational operator. So first question is like this: algorithm to find out, to check the inputted number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, first thing is you have to see what is the question. Constant value is not given here. What we have to do here, you should input a single number and we have to check whether the inputted number is greater than 5 or not. Means if the user enters 10, you should display the result S. The inputted number is greater than 5. If the user enters 2, then what should be the output? So it will return the inputted value is not greater than 5. Okay, so according to the input, you should display the output. Okay, so this is the question. We have to input a number to this algorithm. So what is the step 1 here? Step 1, start. Okay, this is the beginning of the algorithm. Step 2, input number. So we should input number. That's why we have given here input number. Okay, look here how we can write here conditional statement. Step 3, if number greater than equal to 5. Okay, here we are using greater than equal to. Instead of greater than, we are using here greater than equal to. What is our variable here? Number. What is the condition? We want to find out whether the number is greater than equal to 5. So that's why we gave here if number greater than equal to 5. Okay, so what it returns? This condition returns two possibilities. Either it would be yes or it would be no. If it is yes, what is the meaning of this one? So we cannot write a single statement for yes or no. Okay, we cannot walk on two ways at the same time. Either we have to go by the one way or we have to go by another way. We can't go one time in both the ways. So like this, if it is yes, we have to execute one statement, and if it is no, we have to execute another statement. So how we can write it? If number greater than equal to 5, two possibilities, yes or no. So it will be remain for each and every algorithm, which algorithm is using branching statements. Okay, yes or no. If yes go to 4 means our algorithm jumps to line number 4. So what should be the line number 4? We are in the S output. Okay, we are in the S answer. So go to 4. 4 statement, print number is greater than or equal to 5. So if given number is greater than equal to 5, if it is S, go to 4. So it will go to number is greater than or equal to 5. Then what is the next consecutive step? Step 5, go to end. Once we put the result on the screen, we should take your control to the end. So after this statement, we write here go to end. Okay, this is the first part. If the return value, boolean value is true. Another value if it is no. So what would happen here? If it is no means what? Number is less than 5. So go to 6. What is the step number 6 here? Print number is less than 5. Okay, and what is the last statement? End. Okay, so this is the algorithm to check the inputted number is greater than 5 or not. So here let us consider one example. Here example is given as, suppose user enters value 6. Okay, what user enters here? Yes, user enters the value 6. So how it will get executed? Look here, start input number. So what is the value of for this input number is 6. So it will be stored for the variable number. Then control goes to execute this statement. Step 3, it will check if number is greater than equal to 5. Okay, what is the inputted number? 6. Conditional statement is if number greater than equal to 5. What it returns here? It returns true because 6 is greater than equal to 5. Then it will execute only this part if it is S. Go to 4. So it will take your control to the line number 4. So what is the line number 4 here? Print number is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, So it will print like this, number is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, it will return this output. Next consecutive statement, because each and every step in the algorithm will execute in sequential manner, in consecutive manner. Okay, so after execution of step 4, it will execute step number 5. So what is our step number 5 here? Go to end. Okay, so it will take your control to the end of the statement. So it will skip number is less than 5 and you will get only the output number is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, suppose this statement is not given. Okay, this statement is not there in your algorithm. So look here, what would happen, because this part is important part and this statement is not given in the algorithm. So how it will execute? Same input is there, 6. If number is greater than 5, S, it will execute S statement. So it will execute go to 4. It will take your control to the 4 statement. So it prints number is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so first it prints number is greater than or equal to 5. But according to the rule of algorithm takes your control to the next consecutive statement, next sequential statement, and this statement is not there. So it will take your control to the step number 6. Okay, so and it executes that one. Number is less than 5. So you will get here two outputs. Number is greater than equal to 5 and below this you will get number is less than 5. Okay, because in algorithm statements are executed in sequential manner. Okay, that's why we included here step number 5, go to end. So if one of the result is true, one of the condition is true, it will take control directly to the end of algorithm. So it will skip this algorithm. Okay, so this part is there when we have given input as 6. Suppose let us consider another example. Input is given as 3. So how it works? Our number is 3. Okay, start again. Input number is 3. So here 3 will be stored to the variable number. Okay, it will check if number is greater than equal to 5. Our number is 3. Condition is number is greater than equal to 5. So is it true or false? Yes, it is false because 3 is not greater than equal to 5. So it will take your control to the no. Okay, S will be skipped. No, then go to 6. It will execute go to 6. If no, then go to 6. So it will take your control to step number 6. So what is the step number 6 here? S, print number is less than 5. Okay, it skips these two statements and it will take your control directly to step number 6. So it prints number is less than 5. And what is the consecutive statement after this one? End. So it will take your algorithm to the end of algorithm. Okay, so these are the two examples. Here in the first examples we have seen here if input is 6, what would happen here? And in the second example, if input is 3, then what would happen here? Okay, so this is the use of go to end. It is compulsory. It is the most important part in the algorithm when we are using the branching statement. Okay, once the condition is true, you should display the result and take your control to the end of algorithm. Okay, got it? Okay, so this is the example. With the help of this, we can check inputted number is greater than 5 or not. Let us consider another example. Here, what is the example? Algorithm to find maximum number between two numbers inputted by the user. So, user has to give two numbers. and we want to find maximum between these two numbers. Suppose user enters 5 and 10. First number is 5, second number is 10. So what should be the output? Second number is maximum. If user enters 20, 10, what should be the output here? Number 1 is maximum. So as per user's input, we should display the result. Okay. So how many numbers you have to enter here? Two numbers. So here two variables are used. The step 1 is start. NO1 and NO2, these are the two variables which are used for the inputs. So input NO comma NO2. What is the conditional statement here? If NO1 is greater than equal to NO2, okay, this is the conditional statement. If first number is greater than equal to second number, then first number is maximum. Else if NO2 is greater than NO1, then NO2 is maximum. So if this condition remains true, means what? It returns S, then go to 4. So it will take your control to the step number 4 and it prints number is maximum. So once we find number is maximum, again the next consecutive statement is go to end. So it will take your control to the end of statement. Okay, if NO1 is greater than equal to NO2. Reverse condition, if NO2 is greater than NO1, means if it returns no, if it returns false. If false, then go to 6. So what is the sixth statement here? Print NO2 is maximum. So it returns NO2 is maximum and then it will take your control to the end. Okay. So this is the algorithm with which we can find out maximum between two numbers. So let us consider some inputs here. This is the first input 10 and 20. Okay, so the user has inputted the values 10 and 20. So here NO1, 10 will be assigned to NO1 and 20 will be assigned to NO2 because the user has entered 10, 20. Then it will check if NO1 is greater than NO2. 10 is greater than 20. Is it true or false? It is false because 10 is not greater than 20. So the control goes to execute this one. Means if condition is false. If it is no, then it will take your control to go line number 6. Okay, go to 6. So where it will take your control? At step number 6. What is the step number 6 here? NO2 is maximum. So here it will print NO2 is maximum and then it will take your control to the end. Okay. So like this we can check here which number is maximum between the two numbers. Here another example, if the input values are 20, 10. So here 20 will be assigned to NO1, okay, and 10 will be assigned to NO2. Again it will check if NO1 is greater than NO2. Yes, 20 is greater than equal to 10. Is it true or false? Yes, it is true because 20 is greater than 10. So how it works? So it will take your control to the yes. What is the statement here? If it is yes, then go to 4. So it will take your control to line number 4. What it consists of? NO1 is maximum. Okay, so it will return NO1 is maximum. So what should be the output here? NO1 is maximum. And after this statement, we have given here go to end. So after step number 4, it will execute step number 5. So it executes go to end and then it will take your control to step number 7. Okay, so it skips NO2 is maximum and you will get the output as NO1 is maximum. So these are the two examples with the inputs. First example is having input as 10, 20. Second example is having input as 20, 10. In the first example, we will get the result as NO2 is maximum. In the second example, we will get a result as NO1 is maximum. So with the help of this, we can find out maximum between two numbers. Okay. Then second example, how to find out minimum between two numbers, again inputted by the user. Same thing is there, only we have to reverse the operator. Here input NO1 comma NO2, and what is the condition here? If NO1 less than equal to NO2. Okay, first number is less than equal to second number. If it is S, then go to 4. NO1 is minimum. The first number is less than second number, then first number is minimum. If it is no, then what should be the output here? NO2 is minimum. Okay, so this is the algorithm. So suppose consider these two inputs. The first one 10 comma 20. Okay, so here NO1 is 10 and NO2 is 20. So how it will check? If NO1 less than equal to NO2, means if 10 is less than equal to 20. Is it true or false? Yes, it is true. So it will take your control to S, okay, and it will take your control to step number 4. So what is the step number 4 here? Is number 1 is minimum. Okay. So if your numbers are 10, 20, then it will check 10 is less than equal to 20. Is it true or false? If it is true, it will take your control to step number 4, that is number 1 is minimum. Then it will execute next consecutive statement, that is go to end, and it will take your control to the end. So here you will get the output as number 1 is minimum. Okay. If the input is given like this 20 comma 10, so NO1 is 20 and NO2 is 10. So for this input, it will check if NO1 is less than equal to NO2. So NO1 we have 20, NO2 we have 10. Is it true or false? 20 is less than equal to 10 or not? Yes, it is false. Okay, because NO1 is greater than NO2. So here it will take your control to no, and then it will take your control to step number 6. If no, then go to 6. So what is the step number 6 here? Is here print NO2 is minimum. Okay, so it will return NO2 is minimum, and what is the next consecutive statement here? End. So it will take your control to the end of algorithm. So if the input is given like this 20, 10, what should be the output here? Yes, it gives the output NO2 is minimum. So according to your inputs, your output would be change. If you enter first number less than second number, it will return NO1 is maximum, sorry, minimum. And if you enter second number greater than the first number, it will return second number NO2 is minimum. So all these examples are related to branching statement, how branching works in algorithm. So next in when we start Python programming language, Python scripting, that time we will see how these algorithms would be converted to the Python program. Okay. Right now these three examples are given here. The first example, find out whether the entered number is greater than 5 or not. The second example is find out maximum between two numbers. The third example is minimum, find out minimum between two numbers. So this part is somewhat difficult. We are using here branching statement. Hope you will get this one. If you are not getting this point, we will see another examples, another 2 or 3 examples in the next session, in the next video. Okay, so for this, study this one and try to write your own on the notebook without viewing the video. Okay, so thank you very much.